Welcome to the Lizzie Show. Now, I have a lot I want to talk about. I'm going to pretend like that you're not there. I'm just staring at a lens, that someone is there, present, and talking to me. So I'm going to kind of pretend that I'm having a conversation with someone, even though no one is there. So, here are my talking points. I'm gonna start talking and hopefully it evolves into something pleasurable to think about. Let's start off with this. I finally got a hold of a friend, an old friend I went to high school with. Her name is Linda, but her new name is now Lena. Oh, we have some history and I love the girl. Finally, I called her and she picked up. Wow, that's amazing, right? Because let me ask you a question. People do not answer the phone. They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to you. It's not just you, it's me, it's everyone. So finally, miraculously, we're talking. Oh my God. But then she quickly told me she'd call me back. Not just that she would call me back, but that she would call me right back. Did she call me right back? No, she did not. Now, I was thinking this was a New York problem. Like only people in New York do this. Like, oh, I'll call you right back. Let me call you right back. But that means they're done. They're done talking to you. They don't want to talk to you. They're not interested in the conversation. They're done. But I was kind of waiting for her to call me back. But then I remembered, Liz, no one ever calls you back. Like, it's true. So that's the first problem. Like, I'm calling her because I'm so excited to talk to this girl that I grew up with, that we had an amazing friendship, that we existed in a time before cell phones, before we were addicted to this device, right? When people would get together, when you would pick up the phone and you knew their number and they knew your number and you had plans before you even made plans, right? Now, what happens is the passing of time passes. 10 years, 20 years, finally, you're trying to catch up. No one's catching up. No one's talking to anyone. Now, what's interesting is you think people from your time period would want to catch up because they appreciate the value of true conversation. I don't know. I mean, I'm even seeing 80-year-olds connected to their cell phones, So, the problem is this. I believe, this is my belief, people innately, human beings innately want to be connected. They want to talk to each other. They want to engage with each other. They want to debate with each other. They want to have real conversations about things. I know I do. I love having debates, confrontations. Please don't agree with me. Don't agree with me. I mean, how boring would it be if everyone just agreed with you? Oh, I love when I hear people talking. I love to eavesdrop. When there's a problem, I want to know what it is, especially if I'm not a part of it. It's intriguing, right? Which is why human beings love gossip. But let's go back to a time, which is basically my generation, where people would get together because they had no choice but to get together, to have human interaction. You know why people are fine being alone? Because nobody's actually alone. You have this screen, you have a computer screen, you have a TV screen. Everybody's got all these screens with people's faces on it. That's your people. Like my mother would say, she would call them her TV friends. I laughed, but it's true. They become your TV friends. I love people who tell me they don't watch TV. What do you mean you don't watch TV? If it's on the television, you're watching it. It might be Netflix or Hulu or YouTube, but you're watching TV. Maybe not mainstream programming, but you're still watching it, right? So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, am I the only one? No, I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one because I yearn and long for intellectual conversation. Can we just talk about something interesting? Not, good morning, how are you? You know what I mean? Every day, all day, when nobody really cares. You know, this regurgitated stuff we say over and over and over and over again. Like, for example, now, please don't think I'm an awful person for saying this because I'm not. But I hate Mondays. Why? Not because I don't like going to work. Because I do like going to work. Especially Monday. I have energy after 2 days off of resting to renew my energy. What I don't like, how was your weekend? What'd you do for the weekend? Or Fridays where people are like, happy Friday, it's Friday. Aren't you happy it's Friday? It's Friday. And all you ever see is the rerun of life. Like I'm in a bad sitcom, but it's my life. Because it's always Friday and it's always Monday. It's always Friday, it's always Monday. It's always Friday, it's always Monday. Like, life is just like a repeat. And as you get older, you see the repeat. It's like a rerun of your life, right? Which is why you can tell, at least here in America, I don't know how other countries are, but here in America, it's so materialistic, I feel. Not everybody, but most people. It's about what kind of car you drive, what kind of house you have, what kind of vacations you take. You know, while most people, they don't look that happy. I don't know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe they're very happy. I don't know. But I don't see anybody talking to each other because everybody's like this. Double chins are a big epidemic right now. Have you seen double chins that happen sooner and sooner in life? I mean, like, because everybody, their necks are like this and they're looking down and we got like triple, quadruple chins. I'm always trying to like look up. I'm trying to avoid the double chin epidemic. No one talks about that. Nope. We're just gonna ignore the fact that, you know, every generation is more and more addicted, and even the generation that didn't grow up with it is addicted. And the reason why people like being alone is because they have their phone. People like being alone because they have their phone. People like being alone because they have their phone. You tell me, if you didn't have your phone, if you didn't have a TV, you would be running outside like a kid with a stick and a ball, even as a grown adult to play with somebody. I mean, I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying. Like, here, I'll give you an example. When I lived in Florida, I remember there was a power outage because, what was there? There was like many hurricanes this year. And everybody was out. Like as soon as the lights went out, everybody was out. Oh, you live here? Oh, you live down the street? Nice to meet you. People talked. And you know what's ironic? It felt good. It felt good for that small amount of time. You were forced into a situation that ironically you enjoyed. You liked. Now it's like we're all just glazed over. I mean, I break out of it. You know, I'm singing in the hallways and trying to be as bizarre and bogus as I can to break free of like the monotony of life. But you get tired, you get exhausted because when you look at people around you, everybody just seems so glazed over and, you know, hi, how are you? How was your weekend? Any plans for the weekend? It's Friday, it's Monday. Oh, shut up. Listen, I love people. Please don't say good morning to me. Just don't. It's like by the 9th good morning, I just, you know, I can't hear good morning anymore. It's not that I don't like mornings. It's not that I'm not happy to be alive and see the sun rise. I just don't like the repetitiveness of good morning at work. That's, James, shut up. I'm talking to myself. I need some water, I'm thirsty. Another thing that gets to me now, you could agree or disagree. That's fine. I actually like when people disagree. I also like, let me just segue. There's this feature on YouTube. There's like and dislike, and they got rid of, or they have the option where you can get rid of the dislike button. And I noticed a lot of people did that. Dislike me. Go ahead. I don't care. Like, that's our right as human beings to choose to like or dislike something. I'm not upset. I'm glad if you dislike something I do. What do I expect? Like, we're free thinkers. We should be free to disagree. free to disagree. And you know what? I enjoy that. I enjoy debating with people and disagreeing. Whether you like or dislike me, I still respect you because you're a human being. And that's your right as an innate, sentient being, right? We're not human beings. We didn't develop language to fight with each other. We used it to be better, to discuss, and to understand each other, which is also very interesting because there's some languages that have more words to express yourself than others. Like I know there's one language, I forget, it's Spanish or Peruvian, I don't know, but they don't have the word depressed. It doesn't exist in their language, which ironically, they don't suffer from depression because they don't have the word to kind of live off of, if that makes sense. Where here, I notice a big word that gets used a lot by the generation below me is anxiety. Everyone has anxiety. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. I'm like, really? Everyone has anxiety. And if you think about it, we couldn't be living in a better time. Realistically, we couldn't. I mean, it's only when the power goes out, and I mean, that's pretty much it. If the power goes out, that's when things will get bad. If there's no food, if there's no shelter, if the power goes out, you know, how soon will people come together and turn against each other? But again, it's because we developed this dependency, codependency on technology. I think technology is great, but it's a double-edged sword because it can be used for, you know, terrible things in humanity, you know? Also, well, okay, let me back up here. See, I'm talking so much and no one's talking back. Where was I? What was I saying? Okay, let's go back to people needing each other. I watch a lot of documentaries, and a lot of documentaries that talk about people and how we evolved and in tribes. And I always get fascinated by people being in tribes. And I'm like, you know, there's no tribes anymore. Everybody is just so individualistic. Everyone is so for themselves. And everyone's just locked into their home, into their car. Again, which brings me back to people being so obsessed with vehicles and cars. I don't understand it. It's okay, I see, if people really attach their self-worth to a car that costs so much money, but realistically, all it is a people transporter. All it does is transfer you from here to here. That's it. So when my car was in an accident, I was like, oh great, now I have to spend money that I go from here to here. Right? I'm not gonna spend money that I work so hard for a vehicle that just sits there in the cold, in the snow, in the sleet. It's just a people transporter. It's me, it just transports me, right? But again, I don't know, I wonder why people are so different. Why do people feel like new cars and a new home is so important? What do you think? I mean, you don't really own the home until you own it. The bank owns it. If you buy it, you have to pay taxes. If the roof leaks, you gotta pay for the roof. If you got a water leak, you gotta pay for the water leak. When my mother owned a home in Staten Island, New York, every time there was a problem, we were back to being house poor. You know, we were on this diet that was amazing. It was a no-fail diet. It was called the low budget diet. Because when you're low budget and the repo guy comes to pick up the car, which is what happened, now you're running to catch the bus with your $1.50, your Metro card in New York. You lost a lot of weight. You walked and ran everywhere you went. You were more physical. And whatever money you had to make the most out of the meals. And truthfully speaking, that goes back to the materialism of, I don't know if it's spreading around the world. I don't know the world. I just know America. I know that in this country, everything it's just been pushed on people. What to buy, what to buy. And I was on that cycle too, where I was buying so much gym clothes. And it's like, now I have so many, it's just, I don't know, it feels empty after a while when you have so much of something, but it's like nothing, like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't fill the void. Like at first it was this high, you order and then it arrives. And then what? Just to impress people at the gym. Like in the old days, I mean, you had a few pairs of something, you worked out, that was it. It's just everything is capitalized on how we look, what we look like, everything. And the truth is, There's an idea that I stumbled upon just doing my own videos on the Lizzie show recently that I didn't know was such a fetish. It turns out that people are obsessed, I did not know, by accident I found out, with piggybacking. I mean, what am I doing going to work? What am I doing waking up at 5:15 in the morning and driving in the sleet and the snow, working all over the hospital when I can just capitalize on the idiosyncrasy of just piggyback riding? Heck, I could just piggyback ride all day. Piggyback ride to the gas station, piggyback ride to the store, piggyback back. You want some more, right? Just piggyback. I could just piggyback my boyfriend all over the place. I mean, but I don't know. I don't like take pride in that. I like to think I have more to offer. But then sometimes I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's just, I don't know. I mean, you see people capitalizing on such absurd stuff that this is another problem I have. How hard you work doesn't equate to what you get. You could work with a bunch of people and everyone has a different work ethic, a different flow, a different energy, and you could just be burning yourself out because that's your energy type. And then you just get resentful because you're like, what am I? I'm killing myself more than this other person who disappears, who lingers away, who's so nice just to get out of work. Let me ask you a question. You ever work with someone who's so nice that you just don't believe them? You know what I'm talking about. They're just so nice, but they use it as a manipulation to get out of work. I'm watching. I know, and I could sense people and who they are and what they do. Yeah, and it bothers me. Because as I'm working and going back and forth and up and down and doing my job, I still see this person making small talk with other people. It bothers me. And I'm trying to not let it bother me, but it's difficult. People just tell me, oh, Liz, just slow down. Oh, Liz, just take care of yourself. What am I supposed to do? Just sit for an hour when there's another patient to do, you know, like the other one? What are you gonna do? So it seems like hard work doesn't get rewarded. I mean, I feel good about myself, but I still don't understand why laziness gets rewarded and people let it go. Which brings me to another point. We have gotten so nice that like, I feel like laziness has kind of like snuck its way into the working community. Like people don't work as hard and really like get it done. It's too much of like, hi, how are you? What can I do for you? How can I make things better and easier and smoother? Like just get in, get it done. And then you have time to sit and talk once the work is done. For example, if you work at a hospital and there's like, let's say 40 patients to do. Why are we all like, hi, how was your weekend? Oh, hi. Let me not say names. Let's just make up easy. Hi, Jennifer, how was your weekend? How are you doing? Hi, Jessica, feeling it? Like, no, it gets on my nerves. What I do, you may think this is wrong. I like to ignore someone that I really just don't trust and I don't like. But then eventually they get close and they're like, hi, Liz, how are you? And I don't even look at them and I'm like, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm great, I'm amazing. You know, as I'm like doing my work and pushing my machine off to do the next patient. It's annoying. But I need to become more Buddhistic and more holistic and find a way to love everyone, even the people who I don't trust and they get on my nerves. You know, everything is just built on survival. I mean, because we get up and we go to work. But I will tell you this, even if I had $10 million in the bank, I couldn't just sit home because I get bored. And I like going to work, but 5 days a week working hard is hard. Let me say it like this. 5 days a week of working efficiently and at a fast pace is exhausting. But you're rewarded from your suffering. So it's kind of a catch, you know, everyone thinks they don't want to work, but I believe that suffering makes you better, suffering in your job. You're not always going to be happy and in a good mood to be at work, but that's what makes you better. Or I feel, I could just speak for myself, because on my worst days where I really feel awful, I mean, I do my best. I don't do less work, I do more work. But then other people, and again, that's wrong of me, right? Because I think everyone should be like me and they shouldn't. I mean, that's kind of like Stalinism, right? This isn't communist. I mean, everyone's different. Everyone works at their own pace. And that's fine, but I don't want it to be a manipulative way to do way less all the time compared to like what I do. Unless, that's a problem if you're being like manipulative. All right, you know what? I segued way off topic. Let's go back to humanity and what's most important about being human. The worst suffering is this. Are you ready? Is being ignored. That is the worst suffering psychologically you can do to another human, is being ignored. Which again brings me back to how I like to treat people I don't like when I don't trust them. I ignore them. Because I don't trust them. I don't want to make small talk with them. I don't want it to be phony and fake. So I just say nothing and I ignore them. And yes, I know it gets to them because eventually they say something. Mission accomplished. But that is the worst suffering, is to be ignored. Hence, which is why a lot of people like myself put myself out there, because then I won't be ignored. I mean, you are ignored, but you're getting attention. So people, okay, right now he's cooking over there, so I'm a little bit distracted. You know what he's having right now? He's having, what are you eating? Oatmeal? What time is it right now? It's 7:32, and he's having oatmeal. The problem with this guy right here is he'll have one thing he eats, and that's it. He's not the kind of person that has to always eat something different, no. And the problem is that he makes this lentil bean soup with the carrots and the celery, but it goes in a crock pot, and it takes him 24 hours to make. So he eats like every 24 hours. What are you gonna do? I make him cookies in between so he doesn't die. Anyway, so let's go back to my friend who got off the phone with me, who told me that she called me right back. She didn't call me right back. That's okay. There's no more soup. I ate it. I dipped a cracker in it. Don't get mad.
You just take a shit now.
I did. I dipped a cracker in it. I didn't like eat the whole soup.
You like to talk.
Yeah, well, I do like to talk. And here's the thing. I have no one to talk to. Because obviously, friends don't pick up the phone. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants. Listen, I could scroll through all the people in here. Nobody will pick up. Nobody. Nobody wants to talk to me. James, stop. It's true. And then I say to myself, am I alone? No, I can't be alone. I'm sure there's other people out there who would like to just keep talking to someone, keep vibing, keep bouncing ideas off of each other, talking about life, the future, the past, reminisce. But no. But I guess people, you know what? Maybe the problem is I don't have enough to do, right? I mean, I know during the work week I don't have time to talk. On the weekend, it's nice to talk. Isn't that what people used to do? They used to talk on the weekend? Oh, nope, not anymore. Not anymore. But they'll call you right back. No, they won't. Nobody's calling you right back.
Oh, yes.
All right, yeah, no one cares. No one cares. That's another thing. Do people really care? What do people care about? What do I care about? I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like a drone. Like,
You don't care about anybody.
I'm just going, I don't care about anybody.
You see, you said it yourself.
No, I do care about people. Like, I would love to become really wealthy. And you know what I would do if I became really wealthy? I would do...
Absolutely nothing.
No. I would do two things. Actually, three things. One...
Oh, three things. Holy shit.
One is I would make sure that anybody who went to the dentist, I would pay their bill. But you'd have to be a worker. No, even if you didn't have a good job. Anyone. You know, like if you're in really bad tooth pain, Lizzie has a foundation, I take care of you. Because no one should suffer with a toothache. That's like the worst pain. Number two.
If you were rich.
If I was rich. Number two. I'd make sure no animal would ever be hurting, ever be in pain. I'd create a no-kill animal shelter for all animals. Cats and dogs. And whatever else there is. Birds. Chipmunks. Elephants. An elephant refugee. No, wait, no. What is it called? Elephant... I'm saying the wrong word. Anyway.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Thank you. You gave me the right word. Woo. There you go. Sanctuary.
Well, not everybody.
I'd make sure that I'd have a sanctuary for all the animals, because animals are really the creatures of divinity, of God. I mean, wouldn't you say? Really. All right. I guess this has been a very long conversation that probably no one's here to listen to. Oh, look. Here comes James. James,
Out angling.
get out of here.
Out angling.
Nobody wants to see you. Just me. I'm just kidding.
No,
So, how should I close off this
No one likes
video?
you.
How should I close off this video? Let's just say this. People need each other. So if anybody feels lonely or disconnected, it's because of this. Everybody's staring at this and nobody picks it up. Right now,
Especially you.
right now, no. Right now, I want you to take your phone. Let's do an experiment. Besides your mother, I want you to call 10 people
Let me see.
and see if they pick up. James, don't throw it. James.
Why does it matter?
All right. Call 10 people. See if they answer. None of them are going to answer, but they will send you a text. What's up? Haha. Nobody talks anymore. I actually think it's really good to talk. It's good for the brain. It's good for the mind. It's good for cognitive ability. It's a good exercise to actually talk. So you use words and emotions and you feel something. Besides staring at a screen, which I know you're staring at a screen right now and I thank you, but I still encourage you to call someone and see if they pick up the phone. I'd be surprised. Not family. Family, 50% of the time will pick up the phone. I'm talking about people outside of your family. So again, the only way people will get together is if the power went out. And I guess none of us want that unless you live in South Florida. Look up at the stars and see how beautiful the universe is. Which, I have one more thing to say before I go. One more thing. You tell me what you think about this. How is it possible? How is it possible that on a clear night you could see every star in the sky? You could see Andromeda. Let me repeat that. You could see every star in the sky. But when they actually show someone going up into space, it's black. That doesn't make any sense. Does anyone have any answers for me? Because I think we're being lied to about a lot of things. How do you go into space and it's dark? You just threw this at me, you freaking idiot. What's the matter with you? Stupid. Stop it.
That's how she truly is.
No, because you threw a paper towel. He threw this at my face. You know what? Why would you do that, James?
Wait, it's just a paper towel.
Yeah, it's a whole roll of a paper towel, James, and I don't find that funny or interesting or funny or whatever. Get out of here. Get out of here. Stop it. All right, so my last question is why is it in space dark but we can see all the stars? Are they lying? Are we living in a fishbowl? What do you think? And then my last question is where do you think you existed before you were born? Do you think, where was I 1,000 years ago? I think about these things. Like I said, I yearn for deep intellectual conversation, but there's no one to talk to because no one's calling me back. All right, you all have a great night. I hope you enjoyed this. There's no piggybacks in this video, so I hope you're still intrigued because nobody's...
Piggyback!
There you go. I'm gonna use this as a thumbnail to get you guys to watch the video. Have a great night. Arigato, obrigado. Answer my questions, please. Goodbye.